Most things are outside of my control. How can we resist his will? Why does he find fault if one person is born in a country where they never heard the gospel, and another one is born in a country where the gospel's on the radio and on the TV, and they're brought to church by their parents, and their parents are teaching them the word of God in the home? Doesn't seem fair. Who can find fault? For who can resist his will? But Paul answers. He says, but who are you, O man, to answer back to God? Will what is molded say to the molder, why have you made me like this? Has the potter no right over the clay to make out of the same lump one vessel for honorable use and another for dishonorable use? It's like saying, listen, that the potter can take the same clay, mine the same day, and he can make fine china, beautiful, treasured, put in a display case, passed on to descendants. And out of the same clay, he can make a chamber pot. He can make a urinal. And the potter has the power over the clay to do with it. That is Paul's reasoning. Very humbling. Don't naturally like it. But that's what it says. We can't say to the potter, why have you made me like this? That's his prerogative. That is his choice. What if God, desiring to show his wrath and to make known his power, has endured with much patience vessels of wrath prepared for destruction, in order to make known the riches of his glory for vessels of mercy, which he has prepared beforehand for glory? Even us, whom he has called, not from the Jews only, but also from the Gentiles. Okay, and brief summary. I'm going through this a lot faster than probably be good to go through a whole thing of it sometimes just on Romans 9. But basically it's like, God didn't have to save any of us. He doesn't save all of us. Some people aren't going to be saved, and some he doesn't. Some he gives what they deserve, justice, and some he gives what they don't deserve, grace. But God doesn't give anybody injustice. Nobody gets injustice. God is just. God is not unjust. And so, well, then what's the point? What's the point of giving some justice? He says, well, what if God, desiring to show his wrath and to make known his power, basically it's this: when you are in heaven, you're not going to be going there and say, boy, Lord, you got a good thing started. I'm sure glad I could get me across the finish line. The view of the redeemed is, oh God, you didn't have to show me mercy. I don't deserve to be here. And the bitterness of wrath highlights the sweetness of grace and mercy and compassion. God's not obligated to save us. And when we grasp that, his grace becomes very, very sweet. You ever notice an entitled child is an unhappy child? A child that feels entitled to their Christmas presents, entitled to a nice house, entitled to their free time. Are they grateful? No, they're brats, right? I want this, I want that. They're not happy. When you experience the understanding that you're a sinner, that God could justly sentence to hell, and then you taste his grace is sweet. But if you come to the table thinking, he owes me this, you're like an entitled person and you're ungrateful. Until we see the law and we see our sin in light of the law, and we understand that God is just and holy and he was not obligated to show mercy. Mercy that's obligated isn't mercy, it's wages. When your employer gives you a paycheck, he's not giving you a gift. He is giving you what you have earned. When you come to Christ and he gives you salvation, you're not getting what you earned, you're getting a gift. That's grace.